Hey guys, what's going on? So I haven't done a video, I haven't done a live, I haven't done shorts, I haven't done memes in my community posts. I haven't done a lot in a very long time. And one of the reasons was my girlfriend came into town, and I have been spending it was like a Friday to Tuesday with her, and I had so much planned, and I didn't have a chance to do anything other than spend time with her. I was like sneaking individual games of Rush Royale during bathroom breaks. That's how much like of a, like with her I was. That's how many events that I had with her. And I bring this up because Rush Royale Tips and Tricks messaged me to be like, where the hell are you? And I was like, well, that's one of the reasons. One of the other reasons, to a lesser extent, was I was just kind of getting burned out with talking about magic orbs. And somebody made a handy-dandy sheet of the change from magic orbs to the 73 system, or crystals to the 73 system, to magic orbs. And if everybody notices, yeah, they're the same. Everything is the same. And I was just kind of getting burned out by trying to express to people how the change from the 73 system, because that is what it changed from. We were in the 73 system to magic orbs. It's better than the 73 system. But people were like, no, it's not better than the magic crystal system. And it's like, yeah, but that was like 2 updates ago. Like that you have to have already have made peace with that. And if you haven't made peace with that, then you're also the kind of person that's like, why isn't Demon Hunter the best? Like that's the type of person you are. But I was getting burned out with like trying to express to people like in comment sections on Discord, why the magical orb system was fine. And I trust right now somebody is furiously typing in the comment section about how I'm wrong about that. And I will not address it because I have done multiple videos about my thoughts on that. And then they dropped the update 27.0 and all the information. And even before this post, October 8th, and today is the 16th, 8 days ago, even before 8 days ago, the playtests have already happened to where that is even old news. I was not able to do a playtest because, I could not connect my account to I was pretty sure that I would have to sign into a new account on my Rush Royale in order to even play it. So I tried to link my current account to my games, and it just wasn't working for some reason, and I haven't contacted the support team to link it. And so I was too afraid to erase all my thing, when they gave us the download link. I have been since told that it literally opens up a different app, a different Rush Royale app. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. It's done. It's over. I will look into it the next time. But yeah, like all of the play tests happened. All of the information is out there, at this point. And Rush Royale Tips and Tricks was like, where are you? And I expressed like I didn't want to make a video because it would just be a speculative video, even though all the information is already out there. And then I thought, you know what? I'm just kind of sitting here, and a lot of emotional things happened at the end of my trip. I'm getting to this. A lot of emotional things happened at the end of my girlfriend's trip, to seeing me. And I kind of want to talk about something that I know, because we talked about a whole lot of things that I don't know. And, I'd rather talk about something that I know. And Rush Royale was something that I know. So thank you guys for being here, for listening to my voice about me expressing my thoughts and opinions about this game. Even though I'm trust that a lot of people already have, and that you've already seen. In the case that your question was, when does this update drop? I don't know. I don't have official dates. Rush Royale doesn't give out official dates. It drops whenever it drops. Because sometimes even when they do give you an official date, sometimes it's not ready for your device of choice, whether it be Android, Apple, or computer. And so even when they do give you an actual official date and it actually is in the game and people are playing it, sometimes you have to wait tomorrow, And so that still doesn't feel like an official date, even when there's an official date, even when some people can't can play it. So I'm not here to give you an official date other than to say what I always say, and you just kind of look at their post. So in their post, they talk about a lot of things: Sinister Party, Hero Expedition, Hero Updates, and then the total, and then modifiers in the Royal Trials, Division, and Seasonal Rewards. Once they make individual posts on the Discord about every single one of those things that they talked about in this, initial post, that is when you can expect it. So far, they have talked about divisions, they have talked about hero expeditions, they've talked about hero updates and the upgrade system. They have not obviously talked about either modifiers in the Royal Trials, and they have not talked about the Sinister Party, which is the Gunslinger, the new character. And so when they finally make posts about both of those things, shortly after that, that is when the update will actually drop. And that's basically it. It will never drop on a Thursday. So if that last post is on a Thursday, expect it the next week. I have been told by higher ups that they never drop a thing midweek, because if there are bugs, they would have to tell their staff to work on a Saturday and Sunday. And so no update patch, no big update patch will ever drop midweek. So if it is Wednesday or Thursday when they make one of those last posts, expect it the next week. If the last post is earlier, like on a Monday or something, maybe expect it. I don't know. But that's the when does this update drop for you. The rest of this video is obviously just going to be me talking a lot. And so if you want to watch this as a podcast, as in not watch this and just listen to me talk, you can do that as well. So I will go into, their posts. So this is, Divisions in 27.0. It's drawing closer, many fascinating changes. Let's talk about divisions. Raising divisions will improve the rewards you gain by progressing through the seasons. The feature is maintained and expanded in 27.0. One of my biggest problems with this game right now, bigger than obviously Magic Orbs, because I don't think Magic Orbs is an actual problem in this game, is the PvP system. The PvP system encourages people that are not that do not have upgraded accounts to not upgrade their accounts. It encourages somebody with 1,000 crit to stay at 1,000 crit and get 7k trophies. I've talked about this in numerous times in why I don't believe I have a couple videos of why this game is not why this game is not a pay to win. And my biggest argument for that is that there is no reason to get any higher than 7k trophies. And so even when it was the old system of trophies, trophy-based matchmaking, when it was trophy-based matchmaking, I still didn't think that it was pay to win, because when you get to 7k trophies, which is, you get all the rewards, you get maximum rewards. And if you can get to 7k trophies, that is all you need to do. And so you just have to max out one deck, get to 7k trophies, and you're done. There is no reason for you to max out any other things to get into 20k trophies, 12k trophies. There's no reason to climb any more than that, because the store it's not that great. There's not that many great things in the store. So now you can argue that now Magic Orbs are, people in a higher division, you now have to have 3,000 crit in order to have access to buy Magic Orbs. And so in that way, you can say that this game is now forcing you to theoretically upgrade your crit so that you can buy Magic Orbs in the shop, and that becomes a different way to obtain Magic Orbs. But I would argue that you can get Magic Orbs through Laboratory of Experiments. And Laboratory of Experiments is a technical free way to get it. It would take you forever. So far, I've gotten 2 Magic Orbs. And it's just a luck-based 1 out of 5 kind of deal. But it is a free way to get Magic Orbs, and you don't need that many Magic Orbs to upgrade a unit. You do when it's higher, but of course you do when it's higher. That's just the thing. they need to create a system that makes you want to upgrade your crit in order to obtain something, like in order to rise in more than 7K. I feel like people who get to 7K trophies, their argument is to get heroic shards, or heroic, what is it? The heroic, heroic fragments, so that you can upgrade your heroic item. But a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people don't even have a heroic item, because the heroic item system is the most pay to win thing in this game. It is literally only obtainable in a quick amount of time if you specifically pay into this game and raise your heroic rewards. You're getting, like, if you free to play this from 0 to 20K, I believe 20K is what I normally get to, just as a free to play person. As a free-to-play Hero Tavern person, there's one heroic item here, or heroic token here, and then I think at 20, or a little bit above 20, there's one heroic token here. You need 50 tokens, and if you complete all of the heroic quests, or most of them, you will basically get to 20 every single season. You need a little bit more to get that second token. The only way you can get a majority of the heroic tokens is, one, by paying for this. By paying for the pass, you're getting 2 here on the left, 2 here on the left, 2 here on the left, 3 here on the left. And then the only way to get to any higher than the amount is to spend a lot of money. It's basically the only way to do it. To get to this emote, the 65,000 points, you're spending like in the area of like $50 to $100, and using that $50 to $100 on things that give you heroic tokens. So buying a season pass does not give you a heroic token, or heroic points, Hero Tavern points. Purchasing these passes do not give you Hero Tavern points. I think they should change that. But that's essentially the only way to get a heroic item. And then if your argument is that when you get into higher contender, champion, all of these, you're getting more legendary medals, you're getting these heroic fragments. My argument against that is that most people don't even have a good heroic item. Maybe you do have a heroic item, and it's a bestie, right? Because you took so long, you free to played Heroes Tavern, and then, you have a bestie item. Now you have to wait forever again. In the amount that I have spent in this game, I have 3. I have a snowflake item, I have a trickster item, and I have an elementalist item. And that's it. I see no reason, unless you have a good heroic item, to even encourage people to get to more than 7K. Once you get to 7K, you can basically stop, because you get this final chest, and that means you've obtained all of your rewards. And if you can do that at 1,000 trophies, or 1,000 crit, then why upgrade your crit? So now they're trying to give you more reasons to want to upgrade your crit. The bonus for your first PvP of the day can now be received 3 times. The bonus will be increased with each division, so increasing your crit and increasing your division, you will get bonuses for your PvP victories. Starting from Division 3, you will start receiving more trophies for every victory in PvP. The higher your division, the more trophies you'll be gaining, and the faster you'll be progressing towards the season. I don't really have a problem raising trophies with the strategy of I just quit games where I think I'm going to lose and play games where I'm pretty sure I'm going to win. When you get to 3,000 crit, you're basically being paired with anybody in this game. You're being paired with people of 6,000 crit, and you're being paired with people of 1,000 crit. So when you're 3,000 crit and you get paired against a person with 6,000 crit, you just quit out of the game. Just surrender. It's fine. You're not going to win. It doesn't matter your strategy. It doesn't matter your deck. You're not going to win. And then when you get paired with people that are your crit, your 3,000 crit or lower when you get paired with a 1,000 crit person, you're probably going to win. And so you can play out that game and see what happens. With that strategy, I'm basically hitting 7K trophies every single season. Before, there was an amount of some kind of pay-to-winness to this game. But in its current form, with crit-based matchmaking, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to get to 7K trophies. People are 1,000 crit and getting to 7K trophies, which is the top. Starting from Division 2, you'll gain access to cosmetic frames. I don't even want to talk about that. At Division 7, which is the top division at 3,000 crit, you'll gain access to a wider range of rewards for winning, as the aforementioned magic orbs, which is everybody's thing now. You'll start obtaining legend medals for your victories, which will now be more clearly emphasized in the user interface. We've updated the way conditions and advantages of divisions, arenas, and leagues are displayed. Arenas and leagues will now display a recommended critical damage value. None of that matters. In the Contender League, the game rules change. Now, upon rising past 7K trophies, you will clearly see what awaits you. Battles at this rating are a test of resilience, so you need to be ready. Those who manage to climb even higher in the rankings will be celebrated with unique frames, animated avatars, and emojis. None of that matters at all. Essentially, what they're trying to say is if you have 1K crit, once you hit 7K trophies, you will be battling against much, much harder people, and it is basically no longer crit-based matchmaking. You won't just get paired with 1,000 crit people, and this is their attempt at deterring people from being number one in the world with 700% crit. That's basically it. That doesn't really change anything, because if you have the ability, again, to be 1,000 crit and get to 7K trophies, you're gaining all the rewards that most people are gaining. You will be getting less legendaries. You will not have access to the Laboratory of Experiments, but I'm just trying to tell you that if you decide to get to 3,000 plus crit, you're just making the game harder for yourself. Essentially, you can no longer run a subpar deck. You can't run a level 12 Harley Quinn. You need a level 15 Harley Quinn. You can't run a level 9 Treant and get to 7K trophies. You need a max level Treant, because you will be paired against max level decks. And essentially, if you decide to stay under 3,000, you could run shitty decks and get to 7K trophies pretty easily. I see it all the time in my clan. Whenever I stream, people are constantly telling me the amount of crit that they have and how they're able to do it. And if you decide to upgrade your crit, you're just making the game harder for yourself, because they still have yet to change the system to where it is more beneficial to you to raise your crit. I don't think any of this encourages people to raise their crit. I think that there are some people that will fall into the trap of, I can buy magic orbs, and there's not a lot of ways to get magic orbs in this game. That allows me to upgrade my cards. But my thing to you is, why do you want to upgrade your cards? Because it will just make the game harder for you. If you decide to upgrade your crit past 3,000, now you just have the ability to upgrade all of your cards to get it to max crit, to get it into the whatever max crit is right now. At that point, there's no benefit to not upgrading cards, and at that point, just upgrade all of your cards. But if you are one of the lucky few that have less than 3K, my suggestion to you would just be to stay under 3K and stop upgrading your cards, no matter what it is. If you can get to 7K trophies, you have beaten the game. And this game is not giving you a reason to want to upgrade your cards. They're giving you, it's like a little carrot, at the end of, a rope, so that rabbits is it rabbits, like the rabbit races, so that they run faster, so that they run towards the carrot? That's what it is. And you never get the carrot, and it's just like you're just running around in circles, and the race is just becoming harder, and you're expelling more energy for no reason. So until they give a reason a real reason for you to want to upgrade your crit unless they like give you access to like, I don't know, pages of secrets. If they put pages of secrets in the legendary shop, if they put legendary hero shards in the legendary shop, or on top of like as rewards for getting to 9k trophies, getting to 10k trophies, unless they do something like that, I don't think there's a reason to upgrade your crit. Hero expeditions could be a very long explanation, but I will use their pictures as a way to help you understand what this is. Hero expeditions are essentially going to be here. You're going to click on them, and you're going to click on an expedition, and then you're going to send a hero. So you obviously have to have the hero, and then you have to have all of these regular units at these levels. So this is another way for them to make you want to raise your crit. And then you're going to send them on expeditions. The expeditions will be a time frame. You have a 100% chance of getting 2 epic fragments. One of the things to note is that Flicker is now just a regular epic hero. So within this, you can get Flicker shards as well, which I think is cool, because they have now gotten rid of Dragon Rift. Surprise if you didn't see their post. The last Dragon Rift that just happened, that was the last Dragon Rift, and they're going to revamp all of Dragon Rift and then put it back into the game. And then you also have a 2% chance when you send your heroes out onto this expedition, or when you send out your team onto this expedition, you have a 2% chance of getting this legendary chest. What is that legendary chest? It's pretty good. In that legendary chest, you have a 100% chance of getting all of these things, or 100% chance of getting a legendary shard. That is a legendary hero shard. It is either going to be a Necromancer, a Zeus, or a Fortuna. You then have a 10% chance of getting heroic item, a heroic item token, which, as I've now previously stated, is impossible to get at any kind of large amount. So that's going to obviously help towards your 50 count. You're getting 12 equipments. A 12% chance of getting a rare item, a 3% chance of getting a epic item, and then a 1% chance of getting that avatar, and a 1% chance of getting that emoji. I don't know how long those avatars and emojis last. It would be cool if it lasted forever, and then, that percentage chance is taken away. It would be weird if you had to keep hoping for this thing, and then you get... if you were to get all... You could get all of them. It's just that you have a 100% chance of getting the legendary hero shard, which is what you want anyway, and then a percentage chance of getting everything else. So if you just read it like this, and you thought that each legendary hero thing, you get all of these things, you do not. It's these percentage chances. But the fact that you have a 2% chance of getting a legendary fragment, just from doing this, is pretty cool. Because there was no free way of getting legendary hero shards in general. If this was your next question, 233. If that was your next question, how many shards do you need to max out a legendary hero? The number, I believe, is 233 per legendary hero to go from 0 to 20. Determining, and then based on how difficult the mission is. So, for instance, like in this mission, you have a level 11 lightning mage, a level 11 fire mage, a level 11 cold mage, a portal mage, and then a sharpshooter. You have a 5% chance of getting the legendary hero chest, right? But if you do harder missions, here you have a 10% chance of getting it, and then here you have a 40% chance of getting it, but you also have to have a necromancer, a level 7 genie, a level 9 scrapper, a level 9 demonologist, a level 13 alchemist. You need much beefier things and much harder to obtain things in order to get that better chance of a better thing. Also, this legendary expedition is 36 hours. This one is 34 hours, and then this one is 34 hours as well. So you're not going to be able to do these all the time. And so you're not just going to be able to send these just, like once per day, like or every hour or something. It's going to be a while. So I think that it's a cool free way of getting shards. Obviously you will be getting 4 epics. You will be getting 2 epics. You will be getting 2 epics on these. And so if you're able to do all of them because you've upgraded all of your cards, you will have better chances of getting legendary hero shards, which is why they're specifically doing this. And it's another way to freely also get, it's another free way to get legendary shards. So there's some amount of free to play legendary heroes in this game, as opposed to the current what's happening in the game right now, which is $100 for 10 shards, which is insane. Don't do it. Hero updates I've already covered. But I will do it just really quickly. Essentially in the new update, the maximum hero level is going from 20 to 80. If you have current units in 26.2, which is the current version, those heroes will be multiplied by 4, and then that is what you will have after the update. So if you have a level 10J, after the update you will have a level 40J. If you have a level 5 gadget, you will have a level 20 gadget. And all of these go to 80. So if you have a max level anything, it will be an 80 afterwards. It will be equivalent. And then if you have heroic fragments saved up, if you have 10 fragments, that will change to 20. And then if you have 20 fragments, that will change to 40. You're getting double the fragments. Essentially, and the specific reason why they're doing this is basically for this. All of the damage numbers, I believe, all of the stat numbers are basically all the same. Some of them are getting buffed, some of them are getting nerfed. But essentially, if you have a level 20 unit right now, that transfers to become a level 80 afterwards, they're going to be the exact same thing. There are no real differences in stats. Essentially, it will be the same thing. So don't count on your level 20 being so much more powerful at level 80. That's not how this system works. They're reworking the entire, the entire number structure. Essentially, the reason why they're doing this, is because it takes so long to go from 0 to 5. I spent $50 going from 0 to 5 on my mermaid. Essentially what they're doing, and because the reason why I did it was because level 5, you get the bubbles, right? But in between that, there's almost no difference. There's no, you get a huge bump at the milestones at 5, 10, 15, and then at 20. But the time that it takes you to go from 0 to 20 is so long, and you don't get to feel any kind of actual progression. With the in-between levels, with there being a level 20, a 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, with all of these in-between progression levels, you're also going to be given tokens that you can then spend in any way that you see fit, depending on what you really care about. And so it feels better as a sense of progression, which is the only reason why they're doing this. They're not doing this to make any of the characters better. They're doing it so that new players feel progression whenever they gain shards. As opposed to, oh, it's not a 5, oh, it's not a 10, so it's basically useless. Because that's how it felt before. So now you will be upgrading your heroes more, and you will be able to feel some amount of progression, even if it's a little. It is more than what it felt like before. And that's basically the only reason why they're doing it. And that's basically all of that. The balance changes and bug fixes will be made for certain heroes. Jay is getting nerfed, Captain's getting nerfed, but Gadget's getting buffed, and Bestie is getting buffed. I don't think that's going to make Bestie any better. I think the Gadget change is, it changes I believe the damage that units do. I think the units do like 25% now, and I think it's like 65. It's something crazy. I'm excited for the Gadget buff because I love Gadget. The Jay nerf I heard is pretty crazy. Jay's been nerfed so much, and I think that they realize that how good of a rare unit it is, a rare hero that it is. I think, yeah, the damage increase at level 20 is 24.5. I believe, don't quote me on this, you can look it up. I believe it's a 65% damage. It was something crazy, something like abnormally much larger. And then on a Gadget gold tile, you can double that number. So I'm very excited for that, because Gadget is something that is an epic hero that doesn't feel like an epic hero when you have other epic heroes that feel so much cooler, like an Amari and a mermaid, right? What was I also... Oh, Gunslinger. This was the last thing that I wanted to talk about. I trust that this video is already very long. Gunslinger, I have to start with what it does before I go into talents. A Gunslinger can swap places with any other unit with its rank or less. So essentially it is the Santa talent Portal Keeper. Portal Keeper is now basically null and void. You're just going to use this instead. You could argue that Portal Keeper gives you the shield and the cleanse. I think that if your deck doesn't cleanse, you have a different kind of problem. If you're using a unit that doesn't cleanse, that is just, you need to fix that. You need to fix that first. You should be using a unit that auto cleanses itself, that has the ability to self cleanse. You should be using counter spells. You should be using a hero that could cleanse. If you are relying on Portal Keeper to cleanse, that's probably bad. You're probably either very early on in the game, or that is just a very bad reason to want to use Portal Keeper. Now, the most obvious reason to use Portal Keeper is for the Blooming Dash Blade Dancer deck. This is a very, very strong replacement to Portal Keeper. Portal Keeper is now basically a dead unit that has no reason to be in this game. This unit does everything that a Portal Keeper does, but better and more. It's like they didn't know what kind of talents to add to Portal Keeper, so they just made a different unit that's just infinitely better. It's like going from an Archer to a Treant. It's like the difference is crazy. So not only can the Gunslinger swap places with any unit of its rank or less, which means that if you have a level 7 Gunslinger, you can move anything on your board, which makes it easy to use a Scrapper in a deck that this is, which is again is the reason why I've always wanted the Portal Keeper to get this talent, which was the Santa talent from the holiday event from a long time ago. Essentially what you can do is use Scrapper and then manually switch places with something that's going to get upgraded until you get a level 7 Portal Keeper, and then you can move literally everything. And then if the Portal Keeper is going to get upgraded, you can swap places with something that you want to get upgraded, and it'll upgrade that instead, and then you can move it back with the thing. And that's what you can do with the Gunslinger. But not only does it do that as a base effect, but it also, whenever it moves, all Gunslingers on your board will fire ghost shots at the first monster, inflicting not only critical damage, it slows, and it destroys armors. And, because that wasn't enough, they need to do more, and the shot ricochets several times. After moving, all Gunslingers go to reload. It's crazy. This thing is absolutely bananas. The fact that you have the ability to put this in any deck is madness. Make no mistake, it is a support card. A lot of content creators were trying to use it as a DPS card because there is a DPS version of the side of the talents. Do not use this as a DPS card. They were using it as a DPS card, and they were saying that it needs to be buffed because it's not great. It only survives to like round or 2 minutes and 30 seconds in death waves with like a max fortuna and max everything, right? And that they need to buff it. And I don't know if they're going to buff it. I hope that they don't, because you should be using this as a support card. I think that it is a good enough support card that it definitely doesn't need to also be a very strong DPS, secondary DPS card. That would be insanity. It would be like if a robot had the ability to do as much damage as a bard, right? And it did all of the toxic things, right? When you have a unit that has the ability to be both things, right? It does a lot of damage. It does a secondary like support kind of element. To try to have the best of both worlds is crazy. A lot of people have been saying like, oh, you should buff Robot. You should buff Sea Dog because it doesn't do as much damage as a Bard. It's like, because it's not supposed to. It doesn't do as much damage as them because it's not supposed to. It's a hybrid thing that you should be using as a support thing. For every movement, the Gunslinger accumulates super bullets up to 6 pieces. Using mana power-up allows you to carry out a power shot. So essentially, every time you move it, it gains bullets. The cooldown is what they're talking about before, that after moving all gunslingers go to reload. That's the cooldown period that a normal portal keeper would have. But every time you move a gunslinger, it holds 6 shots, and you have the ability to use the mana power up. You don't have an upgrade on it. You don't have a mana upgrade. It is the power shot. All of your gunslingers fire a power shot onto a singular target that then ricochets, but they do a mega thing. And inflicting critical area damage and destroying armor 4 times stronger than the ghost shot. Just for stat comparison, the difference between a ghost shot and a power shot is 195 plus 724, and the power shot is 292 plus 1086. This is max rank, max unit, max mana power up, everything. The max armor destruction on a regular shot is 28.5 plus 31.6 on a regular shot. On the max armor destruction for the ghost power shot, when you use the mana ability, it's 114.6 plus 126.4. If you are going to do anything to this unit, you're not buffing the regular damage, you're nerfing this shit, because this is insanity. 200% armor destruction is madness. It's absolute insanity. The ricochets have the ability to ricochet up to 9 times. The slow is 30%. 30% slow is basically giving it like trapper status, but more. Because then it also does armor destruction. Because it also has critical damage. Because it has actual talents that do things. It's basically like every deck now that they've nerfed to the ground Witch, every deck is going to run Trapper and Gunslinger. Like every deck. It's not just going to benefit a Blooming Dash Blade Dancer deck, which I'm very excited about even being able to use again. It's not just going to benefit that. You are going to put this into decks where moving a thing doesn't even matter. This is like when I was thinking about doing a tier list, I was going to put Harlequin at like close to the top, because being able to set up very early on so that all of your scrapper hits actually hit like actual things. Like when you're setting up with a Spirit Master deck or a Tesla deck or a Bruiser deck, being able to Harlequin things into place is incredibly important so that your scrapper hits hit good targets. When you spend a lot of the opening game trying to like make sure that a bruiser falls here and a bruiser falls here, and then having to scrap like an enchant sword or a witch because it fell where you want a bruiser to be, or a knight statue. Being able to have a Harlequin there and then just copy something so that all of your scrapper upgrades upgrade actual things. It is super beneficial to setting up so that when you get to death waves, you already have level 6s and level 7s. If you spend too much time in that before time setting up, and because you keep, like not landing your specific units in specific places, it just disrupts the entire flow of, like, you're just so far behind when death wave starts. This fixes all of that and gives you everything that you'd want. Not only does it fix your setup process, but now you have an additional thing that actually has talents that do matter. Like with your running a Harley Quinn, you were gaining nothing. You were gaining 10% bonus damage. You were gaining maybe the additional effect of the Jack-in-the-Box, so that you can neutralize a boss, maybe, sometimes. With this, you're getting everything that you want in a deck from a support card. You're gaining slow, you're gaining crit damage, you're gaining an attacking thing, you're gaining the max armor destruction, which is more armor destruction than any other unit in this game, other than a max trapper. It's better than a chemist. It has better talents than a crystalmancer. It's just doing, and now that they have nerfed witch, it's just a better alternative. Every deck is going to run this and trapper, and it's going to fix every problem. Your deck is going to be so much more consistent with this card. I give them so many props for actually putting in an event unit that is a support unit. Because it's going to be something that everybody wants. It's not just going to be something that whales, quote unquote, whales want, like the newest, best DPS unit, because it's not. It's not the newest, best DPS unit. It is a support unit that everybody is going to want in every single deck. And then it has talents, and then it does more things. I'm not necessarily, I have talked for so long, that I don't really want to go into talents. I will, leave these on the screen if you feel like screenshotting them. Desperado is obviously going to be, I believe this is the one that's the damage version, as opposed to Mariachi. It receives an extra bullet, allowing him to move twice. The Gunslinger can have a maximum of one extra bullet, so it has 7 bullets. Ghost Shot increases the critical damage inflicted on the target, additionally by 20%. There's a chance that when Gunslingers merge, the extra bullet is restored. I believe Desperado is the damage version. Don't do it. I'm telling you right now, just use it as as the good support card that it is. Quick Bandage has the 25% chance of clearing a negative effect. I don't think that's important. Again, I think that your deck should have cleanse, that you should be able to cleanse this. And I also think, again, you should be using it as a support card. So even if it does get Dark Priested or Witched, it's not going to matter because it shouldn't do a lot of damage in the first place. Lucky Shot is probably what you're going to use, bringing 20% more mana, gaining an incremental mana advantage over your opponent is going to put you even further ahead in the game. Like I said before, this is going to fix all of your mana issues in the beginning of the game, because it's going to you're going to be able to place all of your units wherever you want. You're going to be able to set up your entire board in the beginning of the game, as if though you had a Portal Keeper, because that's essentially what this is, but it does stuff for you late game. The Ghost, Ghost Link, it transfers 5% of the total damage received between them. Damage from area attacks will not be transferred more than once. High Charisma is after the Gunslinger moves, all the units around it receive a 15% increase in attack speed for 5 seconds. I think the High Charisma is probably what you're going to use. That seems better. You should be wanting to move your units or your Gunslingers all the time anyway. And so moving them somewhere where you're giving the surrounding units a 15% increase in attack speed. Attack speed is king in this game. It's why everybody runs Spear. And then obviously Bullseye is going to make everything better. I'm excited for this update. I'm obviously very excited about Gunslinger. It's gonna be very good. The people that are gonna be maxing it out like day one, it's a good unit to max out. It's gonna be in every deck. As a support unit, it's gonna be in every deck. It's gonna be something that everybody wants. But yeah, those are basically my thoughts on everything. The only thing that I obviously didn't talk about is the modifiers in the Royal Trials. That's whatever. They're adding Royal Trial modifiers so that the decks are not just the same, and you have another element of something else in order to build your decks around. So that's not really going to change anything, and don't fret with the fragments required for units. You're gaining more fragments after the update, and you will be the equivalent of your unit of your hero will be basically the same thing after the update. So even though I have a level 6 Necromancer, it's going to be a level 24 Necromancer. But now that the max thing is 80, a level 24 Necromancer is not that great. It's kind of like a level 6 Necromancer. And if you have a level 20 something, you will have a level 80. But yeah, I'm really excited for the Sinister event, division rewards or whatever. I'm really excited for the hero expeditions. Don't plan on getting, like a whole lot of legendary shards. I think the chest is very difficult to get. I know that you will be getting compasses during PvP. If you are in a high enough division, it's another reason for them to want to upgrade your crit. You get compasses that increase your chance of getting a gold chest. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I know that that's a thing. But yeah, essentially what I'm trying to say is there wasn't really a lot to talk about. Gunslinger is good and everything else is fine. And that's why I haven't really done a video in a little bit. I wanted to wait for the update to drop, but because Rush Royale Tips and Tricks called me out on not making a video, and because I felt like doing something other than think about what happened with my girlfriend, I wanted to make this video. So I hope you guys appreciate it. Those are all my thoughts, and I will see you